Well, move on just briefly to Indiana Jones. Do you have a particularly memorable experience, either good or bad, from working on the Indiana Jones series?
Oh, I've got a few bad ones, I'll tell you that. In one of the extended DVD bits, there's a scene where the camp cook is ordered to shoot me after I've been caught, and he can't do it, and and finally lets me go. So we're shooting this sequence, which doesn't end up in the final film, and we're in Tunisia. It's the height of the date harvest, and when the dates are being harvested, there are flies everywhere. Added to which, there were about 5,000 Arab extras, and I think about 6 latrines. They all had the shits, everywhere in the desert. You sat down in the desert, you put your hand down, and what you ended up putting it on was on old, sandy poop. There were flies everywhere. You remember that moment in the film when Beloch, the French archaeologist, one flies into his mouth?
Right into his mouth, yeah.
Happened all the time. They would spray our eating areas with DDT 5 or 10 minutes before we sat down to have our open lunch. By the time the food was on the table and we were there, in every cubic foot of air, there was 100 flies. You put your fork in the food, you were doing this, right? You put your fork in the food and you had to stop doing that for a second. A fly would land on that. Or you would pick the food up and a fly would go into your mouth. I grew up in Africa. I had a cast iron stomach, I didn't get sick. I got so sick there that when we came to do this scene, and Stephen said, "John, will you just bend down a bit further and give him a better eye line?" I bent down and I filled my jalaba in front of 200 people. And I didn't care. People say tunnel vision. I had tunnel vision. There was a tube in front of my eyes, and words came sort of spiraling down the tube into my brain like that. I couldn't see anything there, couldn't see anything there. I have a temperature that's getting higher and higher and higher. 24 hours later, I'm in this hotel room. One of the odd things about the hotel room, no matter where I put the bed in this damned hotel room, the column of ants that would come in through there and go out through there, they always found their way up my bed and across my chest and out. I don't know how it was. Every night, I put the bed in different places. They'd still walk across my damn chest. Anyway, this particular night, I didn't really worry about it. I'm lying in a bed with a temperature of approaching 105, 106. I have vomited in this bed. I have excreted in this bed. I am dying. I am dying. And the key goes in the door. And the little flame of life inside me starts burning up. Somebody's coming to rescue me. And in comes our Australian lady doctor. And she stands there for a second, and the smell must have hit her. And she said, "Oh, Christ, John, I see you've got it too. Can I use your toilet?" The flame of life that had just flamed up almost guttered out. But you're on antibiotics then, and you rehydrate. I lost 22 pounds in 2 days. If you lose 10% of your body weight, you almost get into an area of irreversible kidney failure and liver failure. Fortunately, I hadn't got to 10%. I probably was near 7 to 8%. And was dead lucky.
Mm.
Dead lucky. It was one of the hardest. For that reason, it was the hardest thing I think, the job I've ever done. I mean, we did have one guy who dropped dead. One of the crew members dropped dead. I mean, we're talking about the true Sahara. You know, temperatures are reaching 129 degrees in the shade. You want to get cool, and that was under the truck in the shade, just to try and keep out of the thing. It was a hard shoot, you know, and my God, it was tough.
Of course, Harrison Ford, of course, had dysentery, and that's why we ended up getting him shooting the swordsman. I remember that.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, everyone came down with it, really, one way or the other, except Stephen. Stephen, the sneaky fella, he brought 2 suitcases of tin food out from Harrods from England, and he used to cheat. Well, he'd come down, he knew that he had to be sociable. You know, he had to share the thing, but at the same time, he's got this basic responsibility that he's got to get through this damn film. You know, so he would come down and he would order, say, lamb, charred, and he would spend the entire meal sort of picking it. He wouldn't actually eat the damn stuff. They would supply this bottled water, you know, because you couldn't drink the tap water, bottled water, but they made sure that they pre-opened the bottle for you, like you were really paying for really bottled water. I was eternally grateful to Karen Allen, who actually sort of had ordered, you know, 2 cases of tab, and that arrived. At least, you know, you couldn't fake the tab thing, and she gave me a couple of tabs. And one night when we got stuck in the desert together, it was rather magic. We don't talk about it. You know, just one of those magical memories we had. Karen was wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that woman. She is, I think, she's one of the sanest, fine actresses and stars that I've ever worked with. And there was always something magical about her. I mean, did you see her in Starman? Oh,
Yes, John Carpenter, yeah.
wasn't it just wonderful?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, she's a very natural actress. It's not like she's acting, you know, it's just...
That's right.
And that's a good talent.
But she's a good person.
Yeah.
I had the good fortune of taking her out to dinner about a couple of years ago. We found ourselves in the same town. And it was joyous. I love that woman. She's great.